People poured into the streets of Aachen screaming, laughing, crying, moving in ways they could not control. Their feet struck stone until they bled. Their bodies twisted until they collapsed. And still, they danced. This was not celebration, it was terror. In the summer of 1374, something strange spread through the towns of the Rhine Valley. It did not arrive on ships or on horseback. It moved through crowds from body to body, faster than any disease physicians understood. Entire groups began dancing uncontrollably in the streets for hours, then days. Some begged to be restrained. Others shrieked that they were being driven by unseen forces. Many died. No one could explain why. Aachen, an imperial city and sacred coronation site of the Holy Roman Empire, became one of the epicenters of what later chroniclers would call the Dancing Mania. Merchants abandoned their stalls. Clergy rushed into the streets with holy relics. Families watched in horror as loved ones danced themselves into exhaustion, madness, and sometimes death. Medieval writers described the afflicted as if possessed. Their limbs jerked violently, their eyes rolled back. Some laughed hysterically while weeping. Others screamed that demons pulled at their legs, forcing them to move. When they collapsed, their bodies trembled. When they recovered, they rose again and resumed dancing. Physicians were useless. Medieval medicine relied on humors and astrology, neither of which could explain why entire communities were seized by the same compulsion. Bloodletting failed. Herbal remedies failed. Prayers sometimes worked, until they didn't. As panic grew, a theory took hold. Many believed the dancers were cursed by Saint Vitus, a martyr whose name was already associated with convulsive illness. According to legend, those who offended the saint would be punished by uncontrollable movement. In desperation, priests led dancers to shrines dedicated to Saint Vitus, hoping ritual and pilgrimage would end the affliction. Some did recover. Others collapsed and never rose again. But the phenomenon did not stop in Aachen. News traveled along trade routes and rivers. Soon, similar outbreaks appeared in Cologne, Metz, Strasbourg, and dozens of smaller towns. Chroniclers wrote of people linking arms and dancing through marketplaces, bridges, and churchyards. Music was not always present. Often the dancing erupted in silence, broken only by screams and prayers. Authorities faced an impossible choice. If they restrained the dancers, some died of shock or suffocation. If they allowed them to continue, exhaustion and heart failure claimed lives. In some towns, officials made a chilling decision. They hired musicians, believing the only cure was to let the afflicted dance until the curse burned itself out. It did not always work. By the time the dancing reached its peak, the Rhine Valley was already under immense strain. The mid-14th century had been a period of relentless trauma. Famine had weakened bodies. The Black Death had torn families apart. Religious anxiety saturated daily life. Many believed the world was ending, or that God was punishing humanity for unknown sins. In that environment, fear was contagious. Modern historians believe the dancing mania was not caused by demons or divine curses, but by the human mind pushed beyond its limits. Mass psychogenic illness, collective psychological breakdown, can cause real physical symptoms. When fear, stress, and belief align, the body obeys the mind in terrifying ways. But this explanation raises another question. Why dancing? Why not screaming or paralysis or flight? The answer may lie in medieval culture itself. Dancing was associated with sin, celebration, punishment, and ritual. It was embedded in religious processions and folk belief. When panic erupted, the body reached for a language it already understood. The dancers were not pretending. Many truly believed they would die if they stopped. Eyewitness accounts describe individuals begging to have their feet bound, only to tear free moments later. Some claimed visions of saints or devils commanding them. Others said the pain was unbearable, but stopping was worse. In Aachen, the outbreak eventually faded as abruptly as it began. No official explanation was ever recorded. No mass graves marked its victims. The city returned to normal life, carrying with it a memory no one wanted to revisit. But the phenomenon did not disappear. Decades later, Strasbourg would experience an even deadlier outbreak. Centuries after that, smaller episodes appeared across Europe. Each time, the same pattern emerged: stress, belief, contagion, collapse. The dancing mania forces us to confront an unsettling truth. Civilization is thinner than we like to believe. Under enough pressure, entire communities can lose control, not metaphorically, but physically. The mind, when overwhelmed, can rewrite the rules of the body. And when fear spreads faster than reason, reality itself becomes unstable. The people of Aachen were not mad. They were human. And for a brief, horrifying moment in 1374, humanity danced on the edge of sanity, unable to stop, unable to explain why, and powerless to save everyone who fell. For more awesome documentaries, kindly like and subscribe to this channel.